to some of the those white racist um, algorithms. So
Yeah.
so some guy come on and he was, you know, saying, we, I don't know, some kind of little threat he gave that, we'll find out. I guess we'll find out in the end whenever they finish doing whatever the hell it is they call themselves doing. But in essence, they don't like the way y'all talking, man.
Oh,
No,
no
They
doubt.
don't,
no, they don't.
they don't like the way you talking.
But that's one tool we have in our toolbox. We can do that. We
Yeah.
can meet here and talk, about issues.
Yeah, I heard a lady say we need to tone it down, y'all. Y'all might want to tone that down a little bit. Hey, look, I don't know why more people ain't talking. Like Bill said, the news media. I mean, I'm quite sure there's people out there in Washington D.C. that's protesting about the guard being there and all of that, but none of the news media that I've seen, well, in my area anyway, is showing it. Other than maybe MSNBC may show it
Yeah,
sometime.
The
they
only
do it.
thing I've
They
seen
do.
about it is they got it through the sandwich, and they just declined to prosecute him today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's just the news media, man. They just shutting down, man.
They
Yep.
I mean,
are.
Trump got them scared.
Yeah. The
I
guy on
was,
the Nightly Show, they fired him. What was his name? Stephen Cobell.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
fired the guy because every night he was coming out bashing him.
yeah,
He was bashing him.
yeah. Joe, I was when I was back at my mother's funeral, early this back in March. You know the guy, Joe. I'm not gonna call his name. We were at the repast, and I had tried to call this gentleman. You served with him in the army, Joe. But anyway,
Wow.
I had tried to call him on the phone one time, and I couldn't get up with him. But he came up to me at my mother's funeral, and just like somebody may have been listening, come up in my ear, "Hey man, look, we don't need to be talking too much, cause we don't know who listening and blah 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 and blah." I said, "Man, look, just." I said, I'm sorry you missed my phone call. I'll just get back up with you later. But I mean, just like one of them old slaves. Just come up there over my shoulder. I don't want to talk too much or too loud. We just can't be out there just talking all over the place and all. I don't know, man. They're scared.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I ain't got nothing for them to take, man.
And that's what I say,
And
brother.
even if I had something for them to take, I'm not gonna shut my mouth.
These
I'm not gonna
these
be quiet.
And besides that, I don't think we are very radical at all. I mean, we talk about things that are going on that are
Hmm.
radical, but
Hmm.
I don't think any. Well, I don't know of any of us that are radical.
I ain't heard nobody say anything racist.
But when
I
you when
mean,
you when you make an attempt to educate people, you're gonna get feedback like that.
hmm.
Because in this country, everybody always talk about their First Amendment, their Second Amendment, but yet we don't have, it goes back to what Bill was saying. So we don't have no amendments and no rights to speak and talk and conversate. We got to be quiet.
we don't own nothing.
Gotta
It's
watch.
not that. It's not that.
It's
Gotta
You
watch what
got
you're
you
saying,
got
man.
the president making comment about everybody, all these citizens, but yet the citizens can't talk about nothing.
Mm-mm.
That's what's leading us down this road we going down.
Right,
Because you can't be quiet. Like you said, it's that old step and fetch mentality. Oh, you better not make Mr. Charlie mad.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I go back when I hear things like that. I have to remind people. I said, "What's the dumbest thing you ever heard in your life?" You may not realize it, but it is the dumbest thing you ever heard. It's when the police pull you over and ask you, "Do you know why I pulled you over?"
Oh man, I
I
don't get
do. I'm about to give officer. I'm about to write myself a ticket. You know what I'm saying?
Ra, reason, reason, reason I'm laughing is because I was with one of my younger brothers and we were down, had done something on the boat, gone fishing or something like that. We were coming through St. Mary's County, and the police followed us, and waited. It's a Friday evening. Waited till they got to a convenience store where brothers were getting their liquor and raffle tickets, and stopped us in front of all of the brothers coming out, see the lights on, and I stopped. The police walked up to the car, and I looked at him and said, "Good evening, officer. What is the nature of this disturbance?" And he asked me for my license and thing. And my brother sat over in the other seat and said, "Is this what you call racial profile?" I said, "Oh Lord." But I told my brother, I said, "Man, this man gonna go back and check my license and stuff and see who I am." I said, "He's gonna follow us until we get out of St. Mary's County." That deputy followed me and him. He didn't give us no ticket. I think he just stopped us for show, but he followed us till we got out of St. Mary's County.
Is that right?
Yeah, man. My brother come talking about, "Is this what you call racial profiling?"
Yeah, that's what you call it. That's what you call it.
Man,
Yeah. And look, speaking of the guard, right? Y'all know what they doing up there in DC, don't you? Let me show you what they doing. We don't know. Right quick. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
See if I get it played.
Yeah.
They're picking up trash.
It ain't got nothing to do.
Oh, well, that's the DC guard, because
Yeah.
they haven't given them any weapons. But if you look at West Virginia, South Carolina, and Ohio, they gunned up.
Yeah, so the guard in DC not geared up, or not armed.
They geared up now.
They armed in DC now.
They got a pistol.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I looked at it like this. The reason they brought in West Virginia, see, the DC guard got plenty of brothers in it, might have a majority of black in it.
Exactly.
And what black is gonna beat up somebody from his own neighborhood?
Right.
It ain't gonna happen.
He got to go back there and live when he's off duty.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
So when they saw that, and Trump with his racist profile stuff, so all these blacks,
All them black guys. Yeah.
yeah, I gotta get some white folks out here.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia volunteered quickly. They might have come from Dingus to the town I just told y'all. But then South Carolina came in, then Ohio, and then everybody joined.
Yeah.
So this, man, I went to Washington. I went past Union Station. There was a big MRAP sitting up there. I'm saying, what are you going to use? It was just on display. What are you going to use an MRAP for in front of Union Station?
Right.
But you know what? In the hood, it was business as usual. Nothing changed. I went through several danger zones that I knew. Ain't nothing changed.
Ain't nothing changed.
They're still doing what they always done.
You still want to stay in there after dark, even now?
Oh, not me.
You still coming out of there?
I'm coming out.
So the guard ain't in there then?
No,
they ain't down there.
No, they ain't in there.
So what gangbangers are they arresting? What areas that they know are controlled by, gangs or so-called drugs or whatever that they're going into to make us safe?
Man.
None.
Nah, they ain't going down now. All of that is Donald Trump's. When he was first in office, they said he told 300. They counted the amount of lies that this man's told. First time he was in office. Just think of how many lies he's told since he's been in office.
Man,
for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months.
One day.
And they believe that mess, man.
One day, Joe.
It's just remarkable how, and I go to bed and I wake up, like somebody was saying, I wake up every morning and think that this nightmare, and I pray, because I'm a praying man myself. And I do believe that prayer works. And I go to bed and I wake up. Maybe this is going to be resolved tomorrow. I wake up with the thought that it's, but it ain't happening, man. These people are dug in. They are so full of greed, and they want that power. So
Hatred, all of that.
and hatred, all that combined into the fact where they letting this man do whatever he wants. He even says it himself.
Yeah, they said it today, didn't they?
People say they want a dictator, but I'm not a dictator. But I can be a dictator if I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to myself.
He said today, Joe, I'm the president. I can do what I want to do.
Yeah, I can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's just, if it weren't so serious, y'all, it would be funny.
Yeah,
it would be funny how stupid the European race is. I ain't gonna call them what they want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, that's what a guy in West Virginia on this video I said about him. He talked about some brother drinking a beer that was interviewed by this Englishman, and he said essentially the same thing that you said. The question is, what would the United States be if it wasn't for our ancestors?
Right. It would be undeveloped, wouldn't it? One thing.
Well, the African American race wouldn't be where they at.
Mm.
We wouldn't be where they're at. We'd still probably be in slavery.
Mm.
Well, the point I was trying to stress is that our ancestors built this country.
Right. As I said, it wouldn't be developed.
We built that White House that he's in.
Yeah.
We built the White House that he's in.
Well, go ahead, Bill.
He's not going to give us credit since he's put the flagpole in the front yard and the flagpole in the backyard. So,
yeah.
It's flying at half staff right now because of those two little babies that got killed up in that school today. But the thing about it is they don't care about that. They don't care about it's not about crime. It's about power. It's about power. It's not about no crime. That crime is going, because crime is going to be here.
Yeah.
Just like we as an African American race, we're going to be here.
As long as they're humans, there's going to be crime, Joe.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Yeah. One day, just like the pyramids in Egypt, people walk around and wonder where did it come from? How did they build them? At some point in the future, there'll probably be a group of, I don't know if it be people like us or beings like us that's going to come across those ruins up there in Washington, D.C., all that marble and rock that, stuff that just don't deteriorate, and wonder, what kind of people lived here and how did they build this? That's just what my mind thinks, because the way that we are going as a race of human beings, man, I can't see us making it. I really can't. I mean, these people eat their own, man. I'm serious. They eat their own. 1 minute they skinning and grinning, shaking hands, and next minute, man, they'll fight like hell, fight to the death if you would allow it. I mean, you know how they operate. Pat you on the back 1 minute, and the next minute they want to stab you in the back.
I like what Ron said. When it's all said and done, who was that? Bobby or somebody said the last one. When you cut the light on them, roaches they start.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen when this guy leaves that office. I mean, yes, J.D. Vance going to be up in there. Possibly, he ain't going to turn the job down. But the rest of them cats that's in them cabinet positions and stuff, they're going to be running like crazy, boy.
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't know what to do without Donald Trump, man. I don't think. I mean, what do you think, Bill? Do you think if anything was to happen to Trump, do you think there would? I know Stephen Miller has got his hand up Trump's ass like a puppet master right now, but if something was to happen to Donald Trump, what do you think, Bill? Or Mack, any of y'all, what do you think? You think they'll be able to keep it going like he's got it going right now?
Man, I think one of the worst things that could happen would be J.D. Vance stepping into uh, replacing the king. But I think if something happened to Trump, it would be Donald Jr., who I call the Prince of Mar-a-Lago, because the man is establishing a monarchy. They would try to find someone. Man, you have to understand this King Donald the First isn't just sitting in the office writing edicts. He's putting his family in a position, man. They stealing money every day.
Right.
He's
These
stealing money,
dudes
they
steal,
stealing money.
yeah, they stealing money every day. And you think they're gonna give that up if something happened to him?
Mm.
Somebody gonna have to step in and continue what do they y'all know the big term for it? I don't know these big
The
terms.
grip.
The grift. There you go, the grift.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
We're gonna have to be united as a people and move as a people in order to stop this. And what would cause people to unite together, different groups, unite together would be them suffering from the same problems. And the way that they've set up some of the things, uh, you know, uh, snapping just for black people.
Right.
Medicaid ain't just for black people.
Right.
And one of the worst things that ever happened, we talk about the populist revolt, but we mainly talk about what happened in the Midwest and the North. But there was a Southern populist revolt where poor whites and poor blacks came together to run aristocrats off of their land in the South. And as a young man, I was in the Library of Congress reading about the results of these things and saw some pictures of people running out of these big houses with lampshades on their heads and taking the stuff from the aristocrats. And what happened was the rich people paid academics and medical academics to find reasons why black people and white people shouldn't unite. And one of the things, the reason that you didn't have sexual union between whites and blacks was that they put out that if a baby resulted from a black and white relationship, the baby would have an elongated head and lose equilibrium and all of this stuff. They invented all this stuff. And even in the 60s down the South, late 50s, early 60s or late 60s, some poor whites and poor blacks wanted to get together to start a medical cooperative. I believe it was in Alabama, and that was shot down. And I knew that it was going to be shot down because of the Southern populist revolt, where things had been put out so that whites and blacks who are not rich won't come together. Because if ordinary people unite, then that would be a force that we couldn't handle. Well, no, we could handle, and it would bring about some positive changes, to our country. And it would come to the point that I need you like you need me. And y'all saw that in the service when y'all work with people who are of a different ethnic and racial background that you doing a job. We have to put this aside because we have to work together.
Right.
And and what I'm saying is, I think some of the necessities that are going to occur from King Donald are going to force people of different ethnic and racial backgrounds to come together united to stop that. And that we'll move toward living up to what we said. A government of what Lincoln said, Gettysburg Address said, a government of the people, by the people and for the people may long endure.
Yeah, but you think we get there without firing a shot, without
Well,
violence?
well, see, it may be some violence, but I have a problem with that because black people have been sold the goods of being against a not well armed. Uh, when you look at when I go to Bass Pro Shops and go up into their gun section, I never see many black people in there.
Mm.
When I go to these gun stores, I never see many black people in there.
You're absolutely right.
And the people seem surprised that I'm in there.
Mm. Right.
Uh, so I don't know. I don't know how. Are we armed well enough just to defend ourselves?
Probably not.
Small groups can defend themselves, but I'm talking about the mass of the black community.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
So
know what.
I don't know. It would be costly, but it might be necessary.
Mm.
There's a saying about democracy. Every few years, the tree of liberty must be sprinkled with the blood of tyrants.
Mm.
Y'all never heard that?
Mm. You heard it wrong. I have.
Every few years, the tree of liberty must be sprinkled with the blood of tyrants.
Mm.
And it seems like we're moving toward a monarchy that is tyrannical.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrannical in the sense that that monarch does not want to recognize certain groups as being human beings.
Yeah. Mm.
So one thing I pride myself in, Bill, was looking back on where this whole situation came from with Donald Trump. I don't know if you can call it obsession or whatever, but I studies this guy, and he has been planning this piece that he's gotten to form a white nationalist army, and and you can edit it out or whatever, Chester. But he is trying to form an army. He let thousands of criminals out of jail from all different white nationalities, including the Ku Klux Klan. He let all of them out of jail. And where you think them guys at? They didn't just walk back to their job. Them guys are working with ICE.
Oh yeah.
They got masks on.
Mm-hmm.
Snatching people off the streets.
Yep.
And like Bill said, I don't know if we equipped and ready for a revolution.
Mm.
And that's one of the other methods that could happen, a revolution. But it's hard to get our people together because, especially our people, because they're not desperate enough. They're not desperate enough. Their priorities are, we got to feed these young kids and keep them quiet. We got to keep them in school so that I can go to work. That's how our whole thing in the African American community is now, with everything that's going on. So the only thing that it can get these people together really is, like somebody said earlier, it's got to be the point of desperation.
And it's going to take money.
We ain't there yet.
It's going to take money to do that too. And like you were saying, a lot of folks don't have the means to just leave the job and get out there and try to fight like that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You got to look. I even look back at when Malcolm X was, and they just had his anniversary not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he talked about these, and somebody was talking about radicalization and stuff earlier. He was labeled with that, being a radical person.
Mm-hmm.
King was labeled as a communist because they label us to keep from And now we don't have. There's nobody. We don't have any leaders out there. We're doing what we're doing on the podcast, but there's no Jesse Jackson. There's no MLK. There's no Malcolm X. Even Louis Farrakhan. You know, from the Nation of Islam. All African American leaders. They either in the ground or they're just too old to do anything. And it was time for somebody to pick up the torch. But Ron was talking about it earlier. These people, you know, they got their livelihood is in jeopardy if they do that. So, you know, that's where we at.
Yep. Well, look, guys, I got a young lady I got to do a pre-interview with in a few minutes. But Joe, I did Mrs. Angela.
Yeah.
You know, I got Angela set up next week.
Yeah. You know, she's from, you know, a little bit about her. She's from the Ben Chavis. I know you heard that name.
Yeah.
A great African, I don't know if you would call him great, but he was an inspiration in North Carolina during the civil rights days.
Right.
Ben Chavis. And
she has some connections with Ben.
Yeah, and she has some connection with him.
Yeah. Yeah. This is is she, I don't know, Joe, she might have a little mixture in her.
She is. She's
like a white lady.
Part Indian.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I was going to say, Chavis is a popular family name in the Lumbee tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So most of our African American leaders, they hit us by talking about some money. We stole some money. And they the main ones that steal the money. What they call it embezzling.
Yeah.
What we do it is grand theft.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Just a little.
Look, I'm gonna give everybody another run, man, and I'm gonna get ready to talk to this pre-phone call I got. But Mac,
yeah,
what you got, man? What's on your mind, man? What with all this stuff that's going on, and you heard tonight?
Well, them two kids got me upset. You know, it just, you know, and then when I saw somebody want to blame it on Democrats and being easy on trans people and gays, it just, I don't know when they're going to understand that if you don't treat people like people, they're going to rebel and it's going to come out. You can't bully people. And that's what they're doing. They're bullying. And I don't know. They need to experience having a child that's not intersexual and see what they, you know, it's not that I am a big supporter of it or anything like that. I just believe in you treat the people like people and let them, you know, and if they need mental help, you get them mental help. But it's, you know,
yeah, let people lead a life.
You do the same thing. You do the same thing for the guy that's so-called straight. He needs mental help. You get him mental help.
Yeah. You know, I was I'll just mention Dover because Ron and Bill know a couple of these. I won't call in the names, but we had I didn't know the males, but we had a few females in the squadron that were I guess you call them lesbian or gay or whatever. But I mean, man, that's when they had that don't ask, don't tell, and man, those women work just as hard as those, if not harder, than those men out there that were working. You know, I mean, don't ask, don't tell, but hell, everybody knew that, you know, what their status were. Wasn't no issue. You know, so I don't know what the big deal is.
I've got some family members. I've got some gay family members.
Yeah.
You know, I know they're gay. That don't mean I don't love them.
Right.
And you know, if if when I talk to them, I try to talk to them like people.
Right.
Well, if they want to talk to me, they can come talk to me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I don't talk to you like a gay person. You
Right.
know, hey,
Yeah. Yeah. I
Doing
mean,
more
it
doing more wartime, it wouldn't matter anyway.
wouldn't
But
matter anyway.
it wouldn't matter
there you
anyway.
go.
And you know, it's just like this black, white, Hispanic, whatever the hell you want to call it. Man, if you peel that skin, this first layer of skin back on all of us and lay us down side by side, you can't tell. Can you tell who's white and who's black, who's Hispanic?
Well, you know, I saw
If you,
a
yeah,
video clip of somebody a couple of days ago that said something like 99% of all human DNA is the same.
it's the same.
So that the other 1% is
One
where
percent.
we
Yeah,
where we differentiate at.
yeah. It ain't shit. It ain't nothing. You know, it ain't worth talking about.
Nope.
Yeah. What you got
And
wrong? Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I refuse to talk about the Cracker Barrel thing.
Oh,
Cracker
yeah.
Barrel.
Well, go ahead. Talk about it. We got 20 minutes. Go ahead. Talk about it.
No, I don't
Tell me
want to
what you
talk
think about
about
it. Okay.
it.
They
I've
changed
been
it
at.
back.
It's a non-issue.
They
I tell
changed
you
it back.
this.
Black.
Say
They
what, Joe?
changed that. They changed that logo back.
They
That
did.
Cracker Barrel logo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'll have nothing to say on that other, but I've been to Cracker Barrel one time, man.
And you didn't like it,
And I
did you?
guess it's just a name, man, to keep me out. I mean, the food was good, but you ain't gonna catch me in no damn Cracker Barrel. I can tell you that right
I
now.
ain't going there either no more. I did a breakfast of that. I was no.
Well,
Or
I got
Like
one
that one.
or
right
Target.
near me,
Do you
and I
might
go there
you go there,
periodically.
Mike?
Yeah, I go there.
Yeah.
Well,
You
you
don't be
go for
looking behind your
breakfast.
shoulder when you
Don't
go
go
in
there
there or
for
nothing, man.
breakfast.
No,
No, I'm just kidding, man.
I be treating them folks just like I treat gay folks.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I see.
if you treat me right, then I'm gonna treat you right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You right.
Mhm.
What you got, Ron?
But I'm just sitting here listening, and I'm saying to myself, people they look at the world as if the world was established 20 years ago.
Right. Yesterday.
If you go back thousands of years of civilization, right? You
Mm-hmm.
had same sex couples,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the Romans, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But that has nothing to do with your task. That's just something. It's not only a distraction; it's a prejudice. Yeah, everybody. We're not um, clones. We're all not going to live the same way. There's no such society. That's one of them. Everybody going to live accordingly. People are people, just like animals are animals. You know what I'm saying? Dogs sniff other dogs, whether they female or male, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, that's to me, that's a non-issue. But the issue that I have is we keep falling for the same shit.
Exactly.
The same shit over and over, hundreds of years. You know, don't say nothing. Hunker down. If you hunker down, what's gonna happen? It's like those movies where people, hunker down and then the world is blown up and then they're scavenging and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because they,
Mm-hmm.
they closed their eyes to what was going on. And in order for the change to happen, you got to be the change that you want to see.
Mm.
It ain't sometimes everybody got to get on the line.
Yeah.
We all in this thing together because
Mm-hmm.
we all benefit from it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's always in this country is the haves always convince the have-nots to go against each other. It's the people that don't have anything that are fighting for shit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else going to Paris, going to the awards show. You look at how people live in this country. They still go to these, red carpet events and all this, and while all the government is going through what it's going through, but the haves are continuing to do what the hell they do.
Mm-hmm.
They go out on their boat. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is not nothing new, but this is for a lot of people. They're tripping over what Trump is doing instead of planning to prevent it from happening again by being active and being involved. And you
Right.
have to, Texas showed everybody how local politics are local. Don't worry about Trump. Worry about them fools that Trump trying to put in your council or your governor's mansion in places like the young lady in Jersey. He gonna circumvent the system to keep her. And the judge was like, no, that's illegal and it's unconstitutional.
Mm.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I remember because it affected me. We kind of sort of went through the same thing with Reagan when he got rid of all the air traffic controllers. He also scraped the books on the federal government because I was a college student getting ready to go work for NASA in Greenbelt, Maryland, and because I was on leave without pay status, those were the jobs that Reagan folks took off the books to so-called balance the budget or whatever the hell they were attempting to do. But there were people that I had met that were changing jobs in the federal government, moving from the West Coast to the East Coast and vice versa, and they all lost their jobs
Mm-hmm.
because they were on the books. You know, whether they went back, scientists going to get, I don't know if you guys ever heard triple E degrees and stuff like that, right? Advanced degrees. And because they was in education status, they lost their job.
Mm.
But all this stuff that's happening is people taking it from other decades and trying to implement it in today's decade, you know, in today's society. You know, like I was saying earlier, the police was established to keep black folk in line because slavery was abolished. That was the whole charter for the police department. And they still believe that they go after. That's why black people always will be guilty before any other race of people because they did it. We know they did it. Oh, look at his size. You know this. I get pissed off every time I hear about. Oh, look how big Barry Bonds' head got. Barry Bonds did not ever come up on no positive steroid or urine or any damn thing else. So they just vilify him because number one, I believe because he was dating white women. And number two, he wasn't accessible. Same thing with Jabbar. So when black folk do get maintain or attain status and they try to travel along the same highways and byways as the other races, they get ridiculed.
Mm.
But sitting back and letting other people do it is no longer an option. Because when this generation is cycled through, then what you're gonna have is a bunch of people that's just wandering around and don't know what to do because somebody else has always done it for them.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Right.
when you get old enough to vote, you got to understand what that vote means. A vote is powerful, but we don't emphasize it enough in families, in our families. I did in my family, but I hear a lot of folks, man, I ain't never vote. They gonna do what they want to do, this and that.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
discouraging to me. I don't like
yeah.
that.
It is, but it
You know what
happens.
I'm saying?
It's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, because you just tapped out. So what you just here just to get the bennies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like you don't have any kind of tangible skills, but you don't want to work here because they don't pay enough.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they use terms and people don't understand sometimes. You know, you have to look a word up if you don't understand it to get the
Mm-hmm.
full meaning of what the conversation is about, you know?
Right. Right.
And that's how we think people, oh, they got expansive vocabulary. No, they're just using words that your ass ain't going to look up to see what it means.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't talk in the first person.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I think too, you know, we got to keep on doing what we're doing because awareness is the key to anything.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Joe,
Mm.
the last bite.
I was listening to Ron and he talking about how far back LGBTQ goes, and it just, and then Mac was talking about the little kids. Man, these people, the people we're dealing with today, don't have a conscience.
No.
or they do have a conscience and they don't really utilize it. Because if you think back to when Obama got in office, his term, that's when they had the shooting of that elementary school down there, and they had 20 something kids laying up there, head busted wide open with a long rifle.
Mm-hmm.
He got up there and tried to sing the Amazing Grace,
Amazing Grace.
and he was crying and stuff. Just the thought of coming up on the scene of them little babies laying there with that 7.62 millimeter rifle
Mm.
shot through the head,
Right.
just assassinated kids,
Mm-hmm.
and two kids is a life is a life, and but they talking about LGBTQ and transgender, and that's just one of the bullet points that the media and stuff use, for the little shiny object that
Mm-hmm.
they
Take your
flash
attention away.
before your face right there to make you think, that and they'll talk about it all night to night. And tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
they'll go to something else. They'll go right back to Donald Trump and his dealings and doing it that he's doing. But it's just amazing how all aspects of society is being torn down around us every day. Every day is two or three other little uh, pillows taken from up under us, and the last thing I want to say is that I don't know if anybody's seen it, but this cat, the president of the United States, sent an aircraft carrier and two what do you call those other little ships that surrounds that aircraft carrier when it goes out? Yeah, he sent two of those little two boats or ships out there with them. Called himself going into Venezuela, and the president of Venezuela um said, "Let me call the troops in." He called in millions of Venezuelans into there, and he also sent out two of his own ships. So that reminds me right there of Vietnam when it started. It was just a humbug of a moment where we thought that somebody fired on us, and then next thing you know, we were involved. We did everything we could to not be involved in Vietnam, but we were, I think it was France. The French were there; they got blown away, and they pulled out. And here come Joe Knucklehead come into Vietnam, and we gonna take over from France. Won't good. They didn't do it good enough.
Mm.
So it's just a never-ending thing, and it scares the older people to death. The young people, like Ron was saying, they doing their own thing out there. They flipping and clapping their fingers and thinking everything is all about these females and these strip joints, and they don't forgot all about the fact that this is serious.
Mm-hmm.
They don't forgot all about it, and we don't have the men that's going to step up to the point to the plate now. So it's up to guys like us with, we're alive and we're thankful that we're here, to get the message out. That's all we can do, and pray.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's all I had to say.
Okay.
Hey, I was thinking about what he said about Vietnam and the French, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know why the French were in Vietnam?
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam, one of their natural resources is rubber.
Wow.
And the people that was pushing the French to be in Vietnam was a family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what the family's last name was?
Michelin.
Michelin.
Mm-hmm.
Michelin tires.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing was about. The French protecting, so then the United States being an ally of France. Well, let us take over for you guys and show you how to do it.
Mm.
But the whole thing was about money,
Wow.
the rubber, the natural resources.
And that's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing in Venezuela, Ron.
Yeah,
Venezuela
oil
holds the key to medicine.
and
And what
oil.
do you see on TV? All over the TVs, all different types. The ingredients in those medications come from these places.
Mm.
Well, the Europeans are way ahead of us when it comes to medication.
Joe,
They're way ahead of us.
Joe, there's some other reason for Venezuela.
I know.
Venezuela has the second largest deposits of oil in the world.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get our hands on it.
Well, but you know, many years ago, and I'm not going to talk about. Man, I was bad to well, many. I know a little bit more about it. When Chavez was in it, Hugo Chavez, Maduro replaced Chavez. Hugo Chavez was the first South American leader to say he was of African descent. And in South America, one of the heroes in South America, Simon Bolivar, who liberated that, was also of African descent. And the ruling oligarchy in Venezuela were upset with Chavez because Chavez took money from the oil and used that to improve the lives of the poor in Venezuela. And when he was still in there a little bit sick, a person I knew called me to talk about Venezuela. And I said, well, what are you going to do about Chavez? He told me, don't worry about it. We got it. We're going to take care of him.
Mm.
This was a person who had connections with Heritage Foundation.
Oh, wow.
Sort of stuff. So I said, yeah, okay. Then I see what happens when Maduro comes in. And what happened was one of the mistakes they made was they didn't keep the technicians to run the oil fields up there properly, and they got out of place. But ever since they've had there, because the oligarchy in Venezuela didn't like what Chavez and Maduro was doing, they've tried to enlist the aid of the United States in getting rid of Maduro. And that is really the big part of the basis, is that Chavez helped relieve the poverty in Venezuela. And about 93% of the Venezuelans are of African descent.
Mm.
So how did they get that calmed down, Bill, if I may ask?
Huh?
How did they get that to calm down? Because Maduro said he won't go nowhere.
Well, they have been. We had restrictions on Maduro. You remember they had a program of sending cheap oil, up to people in the Northeast through Citgo. We stopped that. And we let the oil fields go and not be repaired, so they can't produce as much oil as they used to produce. So we hope to starve them out through economic sanctions.
Mm.
And really, when I looked at that about the battleships, I looked at it from a standpoint of view. It's a known fact when some leaders get up to their neck in alligators, they try to divert tension away. See, if you're having domestic problems, the way to get rid of those domestic problems is to create a external problem. So you will unite your people against this external problem, and they will let up on the domestic problem. And the domestic problem that the man has is Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the way that I looked at it. I looked at it from a standpoint of view of, I'm like you, I'm laughing. Venezuela. I said, my question was, what took you so long?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what took you so long? the perfect thing. Venezuela, this terrible dictator, and blah, blah, blah this, and blah, blah, blah that. But I knew for years, because of what Chavez and Maduro had tried to do to relieve the suffering of the poor in Venezuela, that the oligarchs in Venezuela were mad because their influence had been reduced. They hadn't been totally eliminated, but they didn't have the same kind of power they had under the previous government.
Mm.
So it's some of these situations are complicated, and it takes time for them to really play out. What would happen if we went down there in Venezuela? The United States, I don't think the American public is geared toward us occupying any place. If we can go in there and do something quick, that's okay.
Yeah.
If it requires us to occupy something, Americans ain't for that. So
No, they're not ready for that.
We talk all bad and stuff until them bodies started coming into Dover.
Thank
Then
you.
all of a sudden, we change the tune then.
Yeah.
I just want to finish by thanking each of you for sharing your thoughts. It was very enlightening for me. And I hope to see you all in 2 weeks from now.
Yes, sir. 2 weeks from now.
All right.
And you got something else, Matt?
No, I'm about
Okay.
to pull off.
All right, man. Well, look, I appreciate y'all coming in again, hanging out with me on the games, man.
Okay then, bro.
I'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. Like I said, I
know how
got.
they go, Chester.
Yeah, I'll be posting that up, man. All right, brothers. Well, I'll see y'all in a couple of weeks, man. Unless somebody come up and say they want to come on right now.
Enjoy y'all guys.
All right.
All
Have a
right.
good night now.